Now let's see a complete example for functions. And you can see three things highlighted here, underlined here. This, 1, 2, and 3. And these are the three parts of a function which we just learned. So this is the prototype of a function, this is the function call, and this is the function definition. Let's see each one of these. First of all, let's see the definition. This is a function with the name show marks. It's taking three variables as input. The first one is marks, integer variable. Second one is percentage, float variable. And the third one is grade, which is a character variable. And what we are doing is we are just displaying in the cout all these variables. We are just displaying them, doing nothing else. So this is the function definition. Now, what will be the function prototype? So I just told you, for the prototype, you just write the header line of the function. Just write that, and you exclude the name of the variables. You can write them too if you want, but it's better to exclude them. So in this example, I have actually written them. So this line here is actually the copy of this line. There is one more thing in function prototype that I forgot to mention before, and that is this semicolon. So you must write semicolon at the end of your function prototype. I forgot to mention that before. You don't write semicolon in the function definition. You never write semicolon in the function definition. That will be a huge mistake, a huge error. But in the function prototype, you do write semicolon at the end. And then let's see the function call. For the function call, we have to pass three parameters, three variables to it, because it's accepting three variables as input. And another important thing, we have to pass these variables in sequence. So the first variable, that is x here, will be passed to the first input of the program. So if we pass x, x is 75, marks will be 75. The second variable is 74.7. This variable will be passed to the second input variable of the function, and the third variable is b, that will be passed to the third input variable of the function. So the important point in this line is the sequence of the variables matters. So you have to pass that in the right sequence. If you have taken an integer variable first, you have to pass that first. So if you want to pass something to the second variable, to the percentage variable, you have to pass that on the second number. So sequence matters, right? Now let's see the function working in detail. So what happens when the code runs? What happens on the backend? First of all, you must all know that a program runs from top to bottom. Let's change the color of the pen. A program always runs from top to bottom. So the first line will be executed first, the second line will be executed second, and so on. This function, you can see a function call right here. So this function is called on the third line of the program. The function name is square, and we have defined that function somewhere below in the program. Now what happens is, when this function is called at this particular point in the program, this program stops right here. It is paused. This program is paused right here. And what happens is, from this point, the control flows to this function down below. So the control goes to this function down below when this function is called. Square is called, so the control will go to the function square. And what will happen is, these lines of the code will start running. So what will run? This is 4. 4 is passed to n1. Now the variable n1 is equals to 4. And what will happen is, the next line to be executed is this. So this was the first line of the program. This was the second. This was the third line of the program. And now, although this is the fourth line of the program, this line won't run. The function square is called, so the control will go down below, and then the fourth line to run will be this line. What will happen in this line? We can see n1 is being multiplied with itself. So 4 multiplied by 4 equals to 16. So this x here will be equals to 16. And then this x is returned right here. So x is returning, and when this x will return, when the function returns, it returns actually to the very point where it was called. So this function was called right here. When it will return exactly here. So it returns x, and x is 16. At this point in the code, 16 will be returned. You can imagine it like that. So at this particular point in the code, 16 will be returned, and you can see that this num equals to 16. So this num is assigned whatever was returned. 16 was returned, so this num has now 16 in it. This is how it works. Now, okay, again, this was the fifth line of the code to run, and then now after this function has returned, this line after num has been assigned the value 16, the next line to run will be this. So this printf is actually the sixth line of the code to run. So this is actually the flow of the program.